Hello, welcome back. So I guess let me start by saying, please excuse my allergy eyes while the rest of the planet seems to be experiencing nice, moderate weather. It is 90 degrees here today, and I just cannot escape the pollen and just all of it. So I guess this is what I'm gonna look like until everything blooms and there's no pollen. So come back fall. Today I want to share my very first Herzer deck. And I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about the ordering process, the size, and then I want to do an actual walkthrough of the deck. It's, I think, one of my favorite RWS decks that I have ever had. And I have wanted one for a long time. And at Christmas, I ordered one for Melissa Zupan because we had talked about it, about these decks for a while. And I thought that'll be a fun Christmas present. So that experience ordering was fantastic. Carol was very helpful, very quick, and shipped it to me extremely quickly. So Carol Herzer has a website. I guess I'll give you a little bit of backstory on her decks and the ordering process and all of that, even though I'm sure a lot of you already are familiar with her decks. And if you're one of those people, then fast forward a little bit and you can see mine because I will have a walkthrough a little further along. If I can figure out how to timestamp it, maybe I'll do that, but we'll see. So she has a website. She has lots of different versions of this deck, and other decks. And essentially what you do is you send her an email and then she'll email you back and let you know if she has what you're looking for or if she has other things that you might like instead. So it's sort of just it's really a personal sort of exchange, and it's less businessy feeling, which is nice because you are buying from an independent artist and you are supporting her and you are making sure that she's able to continue to make these beautiful decks and put them out into the world for people. So I was looking for a big medium size deck, which is I don't know the exact measurements now, but at any rate, I was looking for the big medium with white borders in the original illuminated. That was her first one that she came out with. She also has a Crystal Fire, I believe, that is more warm colors, like oranges and reds and pinks. Really pretty. And then there's a Starlight Illuminated, I believe, which is more blues and purples and cool colors. She also has a Elemental Rainbows, I believe, which has rainbow colored borders. She has the original Illuminated, I believe, with black borders. She's got lots of options. So essentially, I emailed her and said, this is what I'm looking for. She emailed me back and said that she had one deck left that was just the regular medium, not the big medium, so it was a little bit smaller. I want to say it's maybe 2¼ by 4¼ maybe. It's honestly, it's the perfect size. I'm really glad that that's the size I got. And so I emailed back and asked if she was gonna have any more in other sizes in the future, or, what. I was just trying to see what to expect, sort of, because if waiting for the perfect deck that I wanted is what I needed to do, then that's what I would have done, and I would have just waited for her to create it, and that would have been fine. But essentially, she said this was the only deck that she had that had borders, and because of the situation with the world and sort of she has changed her printing process. The printer that she was using before is no longer in business, so she didn't have access to that printer anymore. Now she is printing with a different company. The cardstock has been improved. She still laminates and cuts the cards at her studio herself by hand, which is amazing. And so basically, the long story short is that it's unlikely that she will have the original ones with borders anymore. I think all of the cards on her website say borderless now. And so essentially I got the last bordered version of the deck for the time being, which is, I think, probably just, it shows that this was obviously meant to be, because obviously I have talked about it a billion times on my channel. I'm sure people are sick of hearing me talk about it, but I really appreciate borders on my decks, and I just think of it as it really frames the art, and it really makes the art stand out, and in a way that just having the image by itself just doesn't work for me. And so it was really perfect timing that I emailed when I did and was able to get it. So she said that essentially the deck that I got is from her original way of producing the deck. So I believe that this was printed on the original printer, on the original cardstock, and done the way that she originally did it before she swapped printers and improved the cardstock. And that meant that she hand-backed the deck. And that made me nervous because I have seen, I know lots of people like to back their decks to add sort of stability and strength to the cards with like contact paper or, vinyl lamination or, whatever. And I've heard absolute horror stories about the vinyl shrinking or becoming sticky on the edges, or like causing the deck to bow because of it shrinking with the heat or the cool, or so I was very nervous about that. But at the same time, I really wanted the deck. So I emailed her and I was just like, hey, I am interested, but I'm a little nervous about the lamination, the backing specifically, because I am an aggressive shuffler and I really prefer to riffle shuffle. And so I'm wondering, you've done this for 30 years plus. Have you ever had issues with, the back shrinking or the deck bowing or the edges becoming sticky or anything like that? Like, have you had that issue? Is there something I can do to prevent that from happening if it is a potential? And she emailed me back and was firm but polite in telling me that because of the nature of the deck and the way that it's produced by hand and the way that it's laminated and just the whole production process, it was best if I didn't riffle shuffle the deck anyway to begin with, but that she hasn't had issues with the deck, bowing or becoming sticky or shrinking or anything like that. So I felt good about it and I ordered the deck. And admittedly, it was not, I wouldn't call it cheap. I also wouldn't say it was like overpriced or overexpensive before I got it. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, this is a great value. Like, honestly, it really is a great value, The deck is absolutely beautiful. So, the deck doesn't come in a box. They come in these bags that Carol makes, as far as I know. And mine came in this beautiful green floral. It sort of reminds me of almost a little reminiscent of like Indian batik, but I don't think that that's the right term for it, because I think batik is usually a little more kind of geometric and less tiny details. Anyway, it's that, and then it has the satin inside, all green, which I did not request, but it is absolutely my favorite color, so there's that. She picked the card on the front. And it was very funny. The deck that I got for Melissa, Carol commented on the video and said that the card on the front of the bag she picked because she thought the deck was going to me. And I believe it was the King of Cups, maybe. So I thought that was funny. So anyway, I got the Magician, which I'm very happy with. I think it's really cool. So when I opened it, because obviously I had expressed concern to Carol about, the deck bowing or anything like that, she sent the deck with this little note that says, "Do not toss the keep them flat boards and bands." So it's like matte board, I believe, and rubber bands that are the exact size of the deck. And so like when I'm not actively using the deck, I can stack it all back together, put the bands on it, and it will keep it nice and flat and sturdy. So I thought that was very generous. Obviously, she listened to my concern, and tried to do her best to help me feel better about, about not needing to worry about it. So another thing that she does, from what I can tell, I mean, don't quote me, but from what I can tell from other people who have opened her decks, she sends sample cards. So these are the other sizes, I believe, that are available. I think this is the big medium that I was looking for. And then this one is maybe the large, and this one is just obviously huge. I believe these two are from her Elemental Rainbows deck, and this one is, I believe, the original illuminated with black borders. So I'll go ahead and flip the camera and we will take a look at this deck because it is absolutely beautiful. All right, so here is the bag. Very, very pretty, very nice colors. The inside is this like really lovely, silky smooth, just like very nice. And it feels thick. Like it feels like it's going to really protect the deck. And as nice as the bag is, let's be honest, we're all here for the cards. All right, so as you can see, the deck is extremely thick, but like comfortably thick. And the cards are like super bendy, but they feel great. So here is the title card, and it's signed by her, and it has the date 3/24/2020. 21. I have had this deck for a while, and I have just really taken my time doing this, obviously. She included an extra magician without the title on it, but I mean, that is definitely what it is. So that's fun. Oh, let's look at the backs, which I am absolutely in love with. So the backs are this like blue and purple marble, and I love that they're all different. None of them are the same. None of them really look the same. Some of them have almost no purple. Some of them have almost no blue. They're just like, I just love them. I love it. So cool. They are extremely glossy. You can see my ring light there. Hopefully that won't be an issue when we're doing this. What I will say about the glossy lamination is that it really makes the colors stand out and they're very defined. But I mean, like, look at the rocks here. Like, I mean, just beautiful. The way that she uses color is absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And like, there's colors that you don't really notice and don't expect. Like, look at like this little line of pastel colors in the wheat. It's just like, it's so beautiful. We have the Initiate instead of the Hierophant. Not bothered by that at all. These columns, like, I mean, the deck is a stunner. I cannot wait to hunt down more of these, honestly. I mean, look at that. The purples from like, and then it like fades to this blue, and it's just, I mean, it's just beautiful. The Unconscious instead of the Hangman, I really like. I mean, just amazing. She has versions of this deck that have been hand painted with both iridescent paints and glitters. I believe you can get them with just the iridescent. You can get them with just the glitter. There's a fluorescent version of paint that she uses. Admittedly, those can get pricey, but I mean, I can't imagine that they're not absolutely worth every penny after seeing and having this deck. It's just amazing. And I sort of don't think that if these were matte laminated, I don't know that they would have the same sort of effect. I don't know that the colors would be as, would seem as intentional as they do with the gloss lamination if it were matte. And honestly, it really doesn't bother me. I can see, I guess, if someone were trying to take pictures of their deck, like for a little daily pull, or I know lots of people on Instagram like to post pictures of their decks. I can see how that might be a little difficult to do. with the gloss, but honestly, it's worth it to me because the deck is just stunning. It's beautiful. I'm almost kind of mad at myself that I waited this long to order a copy of it. I think because Carol was so kind as to give me sort of a gentle nudge that I should not be riffle shuffling this very much. I think I need to respect that because I want to make sure that this deck stays as beautiful as it is today for as long as possible. So I think what I probably will do is give it a nice good shuffle one time, really mix up the cards, and then I will just overhand shuffle it after that. And I think that is a small price to pay to keep up a deck like this. Yeah, it's just beautiful. From what I have gathered, these decks, these older versions of the deck before her new printing process, were not digitized at all. So it was like an actual scan of the original paintings that she mounted on to this white mat board to make the border. So this is actually a picture of the painting on the mat board. And I don't know that she does it that way anymore. I want to say I read that they are digital now. But the printing on the new printer is an upgrade, and the cardstock is an upgrade. So I think that the decks that you will get from her from this point forward are better quality, which I almost don't really want to say because I think that this deck is great quality too. I think a lot of the gripe that I have, read and heard is the cardstock, and I think what the problem is that people are expecting cardstock and it's not playing cardstock, so it doesn't have a core. It's just really nice paper that's been laminated. So it's strong and it's durable and it's flexible, but it's not gonna feel overly, well, my phone died, so there's that. Hopefully I can pick up where I left off. I guess you just can't really expect that the deck is gonna feel like it has a core because it doesn't. But yeah, this is just an amazing interpretation of the RWS and just an amazing expression of Carol's creativity. And I am very glad that I decided to buy this, and I'm very excited to continue working with it. And I don't know that Carol will ever see this, but if she does, thank you for your dedication to this process of creating these, and thank you for just thank you for creating it. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so anyone interested in the deck, or if you loved the deck, go and check out Carol's website, email her, talk to her, see what she has, and yeah, I promise will be a fun and exciting experience. And I will be absolutely shocked if you got the deck and didn't love absolutely everything about it. And I will say this size is perfect. I definitely do not have the biggest hands. Let me see if I can zoom out. I don't have the biggest hands, but it is extremely easy for me to hold, and I can obviously shuffle it overhand just fine. I can also do it long ways if I need to. Yeah, so no issues at all. And thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.